Hello, hello, everybody. Greetings, salutations. Happy Monday. Good to see you. There we go. Hang on while I fuss with the volume. Let me know that you guys can see and hear me okay. If somebody wants to just give me a thumbs up or send some little love hearts and say, Julie, hey, how you doing? Or let me know that you can see and hear me okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Greetings. Welcome to SoulPet, everybody. I have a lot to catch up on, and I do have to say hi, everybody. Hi, Sharon. How you doing? Okay, let's do a quick hello, and then I will. I'll get into it. Robbie, hello. Lauren, hello. Sherry, hello. Julie, yay. Kali, awesome to see you. Thank you that you can see and hear me. Glad. Donna, Jen, thank you. Jen, thank you so much. I owe a million thank yous. Fatima, awesome to see you as well. Jess, all right. Hey, I'm back in Packers country right now, and that's where I'll be for a little while. So, all right. So welcome everybody to the SoulPet live stream. If we're being introduced for the first time, my name is Elaine. I'm an animal Reiki master and an animal chaplain, and being able to, most of the animals that I work with are seniors or animals who are about to cross to the other side, and what that has unintended consequence is being able to connect with animals who cross to the other side. And I am so grateful for all of the animals that I've been able to connect with, all of your beautiful animal companions. And I always like to mention that there are 2 free resources that are posted in the description of the video and also in the description of the channel. And they are for assisting people who are have been given bad news about the health condition of their animal companion, or their animal companion is naturally aging. But there's a couple resources to help people who are working through either the upcoming or very recent crossing of their animal companion. I, as an animal Reiki master and animal chaplain, it's just my calling, my passion is for helping people heal through the loss of an animal companion. Okay, my friends, let's go ahead and get started. For those of you who are catching this on the replay, I usually take 5 minutes or so just to get started. So if you want to scroll right ahead, you most certainly can. We like to catch up with the community, but if you'd like to, just sit through the whole thing, because we have a wonderful community here. So when I say hello to everybody, know that we have all been through what you've been through. We have all been through the loss of an animal companion in one way or another. And this is a beautiful, supportive community, judgment-free, where we share all kinds of things, not only about healing and helping each other and supporting each other, but we throw in some metaphysical stuff too. We get a little hairy-fairy. And tonight we're going to talk a little bit about that. We've got some serious things to talk about. And also I always share a little bit of the woo. Okay, back to saying hello. Cheryl, good to see you. Who else do we have? Donna, great to see you as well. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that poem and why I was called to write it. And I'm going to read it to you tonight, because for those who don't follow the community post, that's a fairly recent thing on YouTube, is the community portion of the channel. So I'm little by little getting more comfortable with that. I'm very comfortable with social media in general. I was on Facebook forever, but some of the social media platforms have really, I don't know, they've shifted in some way. Their energy is not as beautiful as it used to be. So I'm learning to create my community here on YouTube. But so as we get more used to that community thing, I have some updates that I'm going to give you beginning January, and I will take input. I'm giving us several weeks notice. But I will take input into consideration as I share with you some of the changes that I want to see coming in January, when I will have been doing this live stream for 1 year. I can't believe it. When I started the first week of January 2024, I was not certain how it would go, but I was dedicated to doing a live stream every single week, and I've only missed 1 week. And somehow I'm going to squeeze in an extra live stream. I want to see that number 52 by the end of December. Okay, so let me just say hello to everybody real quick, just who I haven't said hello to yet. Jody, good to see you. Kathy, Sharon, you remember that first day like it was yesterday. Me too. And even as I go back and look at the early videos, they've evolved over time to more comfortable and more confident in the things that I share. But I can't wait for them to get even more. I really, really want these live streams to be something that are embraced by so many people. I want to try and reach even more people who have been, and I know so many people have experienced the loss of an animal companion, and that loss is almost inexplicable. It is much different than the loss of a human companion, which I'm going to talk about because that's where that poem was inspired by tonight. But that it's a different kind of loss because when our animal companion crosses to the other side, it's from a place of unconditional love. It's a love that they gave to us freely without any conditions, without any judgment. And sometimes those animal companions were our very best friend, our confidants, or they knew everything about us. They know everything about us, the good, the bad, the indifferent. They've seen us through the best of times. They've seen us through the worst of times. They've seen us with the tears rolling from our eyes and the stuff coming from our nose and the anger they've seen the best and the worst of us and have loved us through it all without any judgment. So when we lose an animal companion, and we're going to talk about the word loss tonight, when our animal companion transitions to the other side of life, it leaves a hole that is almost undescribable. And I want to kind of help everybody through that tonight, especially with that poem. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to see if I see anybody else I want to talk to. Caroline, good to see you. And I'm going to read that poem this evening. I'm going to try to do so without my voice cracking. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so let's see what else. So tonight, I made myself a couple little notes. Look at this. I am in my new space here in the Central Time Zone, and I was able to use a printer to print out some of my notes. Isn't that special? Okay. Some things that I want to changes that I want to see in January. Again, I will offer feedback, but when I resided in the Mountain Time Zone, and I will be going back and forth, I have so much beautiful travel planned for myself, both not only in US time zones, but I want to begin to travel the world. And I'm not going to let that prevent me from doing these live streams. I want to keep on going with this from wherever I happen to be in the world, reaching you wherever you happen to be in the world. So in the Central Time Zone, this is 7 p.m. I am an early bird. Like I'm up usually between 4:30 and 5 o'clock in the morning. For whatever reason, I am just an early bird. So I know, Cheryl, right? You were like, going to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock at night? That's just when you're waking up and getting ready to get things going. So I understand that is me. I happen to be an early bird. I enjoy getting up with the sunrise. And 7 o'clock at night for me, I'm beginning to wind down. So my energy level it's just a little bit different than it is as just within an hour's difference, 6 o'clock. So I want to begin doing these at 6 p.m. Central Time, which would be 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, if that's going to throw everybody off because we've got a pretty good community going on here, then I will be the one to make the adjustment. Hi, Judy. How are you? But yes, so Cheryl's a night owl. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm proposing that, and I'm going to have a couple weeks for feedback, and you guys all know how to reach me by email. And I will, but that's really what I want to do is start making this live stream happen at 6 p.m. Central Time. That just seems to work the best for my own energy. The other thing that I want to mention is that we're not going to have a reading this evening, but only because as I go through all of the emails, I appear to be caught up. So if I have missed someone who requested a reading for their animal companion, please let me know. The email is read, READ, 4, the number 4, mypet@gmail.com. Read for mypet@gmail.com. But the only ones that I haven't got to yet are ones where someone didn't attach a picture, a name. Like sometimes I get, can I please have a reading for my pet? And the email is something that I just don't know. And I would love to. I would absolutely. One email that I opened today said, this is my dog and this is my cat. And that's all I got. So if there is anybody who I've missed, I would love, there was no picture or anything attached to that email. I'm very happy to continue doing these, and I will actually post something in the community tab so that we can make sure as of January that there are plenty of animal companions who would like to get a little mini reading and who would like to share information with their human. And you guys can also share this. If you know anybody, family members, friends, go ahead and encourage them to connect with me through readformypet@gmail.com. And if I did miss any, I apologize. And one of the reasons for that, despite how much I try to keep my email box clean, I get a lot of things. Once that email address gets out there, I get all kinds of stuff from everybody. I don't just mean these interesting emails that I love to get from you guys, but I get them from marketers and that kind of thing who want to help me do this, that, and the other thing. Anyhow, we'll just leave that be. All right, so let me go ahead and check the comments real quick. Good with earlier. Thank you, Sharon. It's thank you, Kathy. I will be writing for a reading. Okay, fantastic. Kathy, has she done Tiggy? I don't remember doing a Tiggy. So I can go back and check that. I always make myself little notes during this class, so let me write that on here. So I will check Kathy and Tiggy. And okay, so let me explain a little bit about where I've been, what I've been up to, and the basis for that poem. I traveled this week to Texas. I spent the week in Texas for my mother-in-law's memorial. Most of you know that Nana, who joined us several times in these chats and on these videos, Nana crossed to the other side back in October, and we had her celebration of life this past weekend. So I was in Texas for the week, helping the family to prepare, getting all the things together, doing everything that we needed to do to be ready for our memorial. And that memorial was on Saturday, and it left me with a cold. And there's just no getting around it. Sometimes when you push your body just a little too far, there was a lot going on between family moving here to Wisconsin, me moving here. There's a whole lot. There was a whole lot going on. So I have a little bit of a cold. You may hear that congestion, but I think I'm pretty good. I have my box of tissues right here. I have my glass of water, so we are all good. But what I got to do for the memorial, besides I had such an honor, it was such an honor to create some of the things that we had a beautiful slideshow that I was able to create honoring Nana. And I also got to do, I was asked to read. I was asked to actually open the memorial. You guys know I'm an animal chaplain, and our chaplain for the memorial at the very last moment couldn't make it. So I agreed to do the opening, and it was amusing for me to say, I normally am an animal chaplain. I've been ordained specifically so that I can work with animals and their human families at the end of life. But it is my wonderful honor to be able to open the memorial for Nana. And I found by pure, there's no such thing as pure coincidence. I was holding on to my granddaughter, and my granddaughter, we call it practicing with gravity. She's at the age where she wants to hold something and drop it and see if you'll pick it up for her. So we call it having fun with gravity. And she picked up a book, just a small little book out off of a bookshelf, and she dropped it. And it was, of course, it wasn't my book and it wasn't my house. So I immediately scooped down to pick it up. And it was a book about hospice care for people. And at the very back, it just flipped open. You guys know what I say about coincidence. It flipped open to this beautiful, it wasn't a poem, it was a eulogy. And it said author unknown. And it was a 19th century eulogy. So it was written in kind of an old-fashioned tone and a lot of old-fashioned words, whilst and amongst and that kind of thing. But it was about a beautiful ship sailing off onto the horizon. And as the ship reaches the horizon, somebody says, there she is gone. And then it went on to, it wasn't really so much, it was more of an analogy between person and ship. And that ship on the horizon, that just as you see the ship sailing away, there are other people on the other side of the ocean waiting for that ship to come in. So something is never actually gone. And it prompted me I just thought of all the beautiful animal companions that I have been able to connect with over the past, since I've been doing this now for, I don't even know, it doesn't matter the number of years, it's been so many now. But it made me think of creating that poem, and I wanted to do it with Lucy in mind. I wanted to write something so special for my beautiful Lucy, who I know on the other side of life is there to greet so many other animals. I know that her soul is there as one of those who says, and there she comes. So I created that poem a little bit different, just a same kind of theme, but just a little bit different saying. And I will read it for everybody in just a moment. But what it really made me focus on, as I got to share that poem with Nana's relatives and friends, it made me realize what the term passing away means. We say that so frequently. We avoid, or it's words, and I use these words during my little speech. It wasn't a speech, but as I spoke with the people at the memorial, when we hear words like death and dying, they're hard on our ears. Words like that stick in our throat. We get a feeling in the pit of our stomach. Those words are challenging for us. They're difficult. we have fear. It raises these really deep feelings within us when we say words like death and dying. And so as human beings, we have really come up with some different ways to phrase these things that are a little bit gentler, a little bit softer. We say transition, we say crossing over, we say passing away. And as I considered those terms, I realized what passing away actually means. And I know that this is a little bit deeper topic than we often get into on this particular channel. We talk about these things, but we talk about them not in quite as serious of a way. But I really think it's important for us to address, especially for those who are new to this group and new to this channel, and are dealing with the passing, the death, the loss of an animal companion, because they're not lost. I really want to help us reframe everyone who follows me and who follows this channel. I really want to help us reframe the way that we think about our pets passing. I want us to think about it in an entirely different way, that instead of focusing on loss, I want us to explore that their spirit, their soul, it remains vibrant. It's more than we haven't lost anything. They may be temporarily gone from our sight, which is the name of that poem. They may be temporarily gone from our human sight. Oh, but they are not gone and they are not lost, as so many of you know. So that's really what I want to talk about tonight. But first, I got to grab the tissue. This is live stream, guys. It's live stream, so I'm going to step away real quick so you don't have to watch me blow my silly nose. Hang tight. I'm just going to read real quick. Lola was 1 year past on Saturday. For my reading, you said Moulin Rouge. I opened my email last week to say Moulin Rouge was playing currently in Ireland. That is absolutely a sign. Give me a quick second, and I'm going to come back to that. I'm still here. Just give me a sec. This is what live stream video. And I love live stream video just because I don't like to follow script. I don't like to follow script at all. I like to just speak to you guys from the heart, what comes to me from the moment. So let's take a look at the comments real quick. Up at work at 4:30 a.m., wearing down too. Rushing around at 6 p.m. I'm sorry. I will, Sherry, we'll see what we can do. Maybe I switch it from time to time, but we're still going to, I will re-forward the email for Winnie, okay? And so the sign from Moulin Rouge, Caroline, when I do readings for animal companions, I generally ask for a piece of evidence. And it's not that I need the justification, because I know from having connected with so many animals now. I call them the animal collective. In the beginning, I used to refer to them often as the animal collective, and the animal collective has this to say and that to say and this to share. But they've kind of become one beautiful soul of animals, and they are part of who share the messages with me. All of these messages, not just readings. I trust that our beautiful animal companions are part of God, part of source and the universe and spirit, soul, divine, that they share with me this information to share with you. And when I do those readings, sometimes things come through that don't make a lot of sense. And they don't make sense in the moment, but they will eventually make sense. And those I call Easter eggs. Easter eggs are bits of information that maybe have a hidden meaning, or maybe don't, we can't find them right away. I like to laugh about the Easter egg that you hide in the cereal box, and it's a year later that you find that, well, you wouldn't find it a year later in a cereal box, but that you discover a year later. And when you find the Easter egg, you're like, oh, that's where I hid that last Easter egg. Okay, I'm going to look at Fatima's real quick. Is fear a consequence of grief? We'll talk about fear a little bit, because that's part of why we're afraid of the word death and dying, because we fear that it's the end. We fear that there isn't anything on the other side. We fear that there is no other side. We fear that we have that they'll never be connected with us again if we do believe in the other side. We fear that they've forgotten about us. We fear that they reincarnate and go to somebody else's family. It doesn't work like any of that. We fear our own death. We fear our own crossing. We fear our own transition, because we fear that there is nothing after this life. We fear that we have not been a good enough person to be welcomed into the gates of heaven. We fear that there'll be something that we fear that will be not connected to anybody, or that we that our animals won't be waiting for us on the other side. If there's one thing I could share with everybody, when I practice Reiki, now Reiki is a Japanese tradition. It's about universal energy, connecting with universal energy, sharing universal healing energy. That's what the word Reiki means. It's two words, Rei and Ki, universal energy. And that word Ki is so similar to in the Chinese tradition. If you know Tai Chi, Chi is the same, that universal, that energy, that life force that resides within every single living thing. Ki in Japanese, Chi in Reiki, prana, mana, it's called a variety of different things. It all means the same thing. It's that energy that is us. It is the basis of us. So that energy that is us. And where was I going with that? I don't know. I started talking about Reiki. Oh, fear. Because in the system of Reiki, there's something called the precepts. And those of you who've been through my Reiki classes, you know this. We say just for today. And I teach this, I recommend this, I suggest this highly for everybody, that there's nothing about yesterday that we can do anything about. Tomorrow is not written. So we focus just on today. And the 5 Reiki precepts are just for today. I do not anger. I do not worry. I'm grateful. I'm humble. I'm kind. I think that all of those things can be wrapped up in just for today. I release the fear, because fear causes anger. Fear causes us to worry. Fear causes us not to see the silver lining and the gratitude. Fear causes us to give into our ego. Fear causes us to be unkind to others. So if we could just let go of the fear, there is no fear when we know that we are connected to everything. When we know that we are connected to each other, nothing matters anymore. When a beautiful soul like Nana, who was a healer, a physician and an energy healer, beautiful Nana, who when she hugged you, her hands, it was more than a hug. Her hands were already healing you. They were seeking out that part of your body that needed to be healed. And when a beautiful soul like that crosses, we realize that we are still all connected. I saw so many miracles happen this week. They were all small. There was no lightning bolts coming from the sky showing a miracle here. The seas have parted. They were all small, tiny miracles all week long that kind of parted the way, like literally parted the sea, parted the way for a number of things to happen that were kind of standing in our way for the memorial to occur on Saturday. So many beautiful things that happened when we realized that we are all connected, that we are part of this glorious universe, that our existence extends far beyond life here on planet Earth, and that all living things are connected. The little things don't matter anymore, and you don't have to be afraid. And you can ask your animal companion to start to show you little signs. We'll talk about signs more. Again, always, that's one of the fun topics we talk about. We can ask our animal companions to be our guides and to remain our confidants and to continue to show us how we can live the best possible life we can here on planet Earth. Okay, that was not all planned. So that's why I love live streams too, because I love to just share what they inspire me with, whatever beautiful inspiration they share, including Nana, all the beautiful inspiration that she shared. So let me check. Tomorrow marks 2 months since your dog passed. I've been in constant fear. I even think the bad energy from others or my own caused the accident. Okay, Fatima, I can ask you to take my word for it, but you don't have to just take my word for it. You can connect with your animal companion and ask for even just a feeling inside your heart that lets you know you could not have caused, nothing that you did could cause the passing of an animal companion. It's just not possible. Every single animal is on their own journey. That's part of what that poem was about. Beyond just being our animal companions, our animals have journeys of their own. They are sentient beings. They are souls. They are souls that have a direct connection also to Source and God, and they have their own journey. When we can learn to go inside and trust their journey as much as we trust our own, we begin to recognize that we didn't do anything wrong. We hold ourselves in guilt. I went back, I was looking at a couple old videos because I was interested in considering some topics for the new year when we get into 2025. And one of the things that comes up again and again and again is guilt. We are the only species on Earth that holds ourselves in guilt. No other animal holds themselves in a place of guilt. Now, the animals that share our home, particularly dogs, can be taught to feel guilty, but they learn that from us. We teach them through our reinforcement that they have done something that makes them, naughty. They have done something that they should feel guilty about. If you've ever seen a dog who gets a guilty look in their eyes, that look doesn't occur naturally. They learn it from us as being part of our animal companions, and that is not a judgment on us either, because I think they do that to teach us. They do it to teach us eventually how to work through guilt on our own, so that we don't want our animals to feel guilty about something. We don't want ourselves to feel guilty about something. So don't hold yourself guilty for that. Please do not hold yourself guilty for that. Somebody might be, I can't remember who it was earlier this week. We talked about playing God, and this person felt as though they played God when they were making decisions for their animal companion. And I think God, universe, Buddha, Allah, spirit, whatever you want to call it, whatever your version of a higher power is, they laugh. They just chuckle to think, oh my goodness, that we little humans think that we can play God. There goes the air quotes. We little humans think that we can play God. We don't have it within us to do that. The universe is source is so much there's so much more to it than we think, and we don't have the power to play God. That's what it comes down to. So don't hold yourself responsible for that, because there is something going on behind the scenes that you just couldn't know. There is a reason why our animal companions cross the way that they do. And we just need to begin to accept their journey and trust that they were on their own journey, because when they cross to the other side, there is no guilt. There's no guilt. There is no judgment. The only thing that holds us in judgment is us. The only thing that makes us feel guilty is us. Okay, let me continue. Why or how something so horrible happened. It's something that I can't particularly address in this video, and it might be because we're already going to go deep enough in this video. I've done prior videos about trauma, and I will try to do that again. When something really challenging happens, there are challenging circumstances when some of our animal companions cross. And how could something like that have happened? We even think that for humans. How could something like that have happened? It's not that there's fate, and it's not that there is that it was predestined, but there's something else going on that we are not meant to understand. It's not our journey to take. If anything, we may have a lesson to be learned from that particular journey, from that particular experience. And then I would say we go inside, and we have to do sometimes we have to do the hard work. And the hard work is to go inside and examine what happened and why we feel the way that we do. And then to ask our animal companion and God and Source and Buddha and Allah and the angels and ancestors and whoever. I've spoken to Nana all week long. We speak to them and say, can you show me? Can you give me some insight? And then we take that, and whether it's one little piece, one little nugget, or one moment of relief, we take that as a sign that we're on the right track. And we can eventually get to the spot where, if we don't fully understand it, we can at least honor the journey of the animal the animal companion who was on that journey. Okay, let's keep going. Where do I want to go? The gentler perspective of passing away. This is what I talked about for Nana. I loved the idea when I realized the phrase. We've used the phrase all the time. I was taught to say when a person dies that they passed away, and we express our condolences. I'm sorry to hear that your relative passed away. And passed away is just a softer way for us to say that they've died. But death is not final the way that the word death means final to us. Passing away is like a ship sailing on the ocean who reaches the horizon, that place where the land meets the sky, where the ocean meets the sky, where the earth meets the sky. When you just see it, like as if you were following a ship and watching it and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it sits just on the edge of the horizon, and then it pops away. That is what passing away is. It's not gone, it has simply passed away. And a life force cannot be, it can neither be created nor destroyed. It has always been, and it always will be. And a life force as beautiful as your animal companions cannot, no life force can ever end. But your beautiful animal companion, who has been with you since before you were born, is with you, been on planet Earth, is with you now, even on the other side, that cannot go away, cannot disappear. And so the basis for that poem, think about passing away. And even if that passing was not what we would have envisioned for them, even if it was unexpected and traumatic, they still have not left us. The experience may be traumatic, especially for our memories. They take no memory of that with them, by the way, Fatima. They take no memory of that with them. For all of the animals that I have ever read for, not one single animal says, I wish that hadn't happened, holds their human responsible for making a decision for them, keeps somebody held in a feeling of guilt because they forgot to do something, should have, would have, could have done something differently. It does not happen. Not a single animal recalls the meaning, the means in which they passed. I use it's instantaneous, and I've said this so many times, but I'll keep saying it for whoever needs to hear it. The word instantaneous takes too long to say for the time it takes them to leave their physical body and move to the other side. It's literally instantaneous. And for them, there is no separation. They one split second they were in their body, one split second they were out of their body. And there's no, and even for us, it works the same way for people. We don't linger in purgatory. We don't have, instantaneously, we're back into the energetic field of pure positive love. And once again, I lose sight when I start to go off on these tangents. I lose sight of what the main point was, but we'll come back to that. Okay. So, why we love the phrase passing away. I'm going to take a look at the comments real quick. Furball Cat saw something last night that I didn't see. He jumped down searching slowly. Okay. So that's the other thing. And we talk about more about this too. I talk about it frequently, and I'll do more on the subject also. Our animals who are physically with us here on planet Earth, physically in the physical, in their little bodies, their senses are a little bit different than ours. And they also have not been culturally taught, socially taught, not to pay attention to those things. When my son was little, we tell this story all the time. My sister is the one who was holding him. My son was, I guess he was about 2-3 years old, and they were in an attic of an old home, and they were walking around, and my son very naturally just pointed and went, "Oh, ghost." And my sister, who was an adult at the time, ran screaming with him down the stairs out of the attic. For my son, it was perfectly natural. He was still close enough to his connection with the other side that he was able to see something that we couldn't see, that we've been taught to be frightened of. We've been taught to be frightened of that. Our animals, on the other hand, have not lost that ability to see, and they are not frightened, and they will frequently be able to hone in on the energy of an animal or a person that from the other side. So they'll either look up into the corner, they'll stare straight ahead, it's very easy for them to see that energy, and they focus on it. And even, I would say, even a spirit of a little mouse, if a cat was going to chase it. Okay, a ghost. Right, Jody. It's true. We still tell the story. My son doesn't remember it at all. My sister sure does. Okay. I want to make sure I make that note about Kathy and Tiki. I would like to read this poem for you guys. I will try to read, for those of you who didn't see it in the community page, and I also included it in the newsletter. I'm just going to read it for you. For anybody who maybe just who is not signed up for either of those things, I will just read this for you. And I will try to read it without my voice cracking, but no promises. So this is called Gone From My Sight. And that is the name of the original eulogy, author unknown. Nobody knows who wrote it. That's the name of the original eulogy, is Gone From My Sight. I stand at the edge of a beautiful meadow. Beside me, my beloved companion begins to run free. She glows with the sunlight, with steps full of life, bounding into a world that stretches beyond my view. I watch as she becomes a soft silhouette on the horizon, at the place where the earth meets the sky. And then someone near me whispers, "She is gone." Gone where, I wonder? Gone from my sight, that is all. Her love is as strong as when she left my side, full of love, joy, and boundless energy, carrying the essence of the life we shared to her next adventure. Though her absence feels vast, it is only my view that has changed. For when someone whispers, "She is gone," there are others waiting on the other side, shouting with joy, "Here she comes!" The journey of life and love, a continuation, not an ending. Her spirit has gently moved from my arms into another place where she is welcomed with love as boundless as the love that I hold for her still. She may be gone from my sight, but she is not gone from my heart. So that for me, someone commented when I posted that, and I tweaked it a little bit when I put it onto the community page because I wanted it to be just for Lucy. Someone commented that it was very sad, and I feel just the opposite. I feel that it is. I don't know the right word. It's not sad. It makes me feel so aware of Lucy's presence, knowing that on the other side of life, there are people there. I know my father is there, Nana is there, other animal companions are there to greet her and welcome her with joy and to scoop her into their arms. And I welcome that too. It's one of the things that removes the fear. Fatima, I no longer have any fear of crossing, no fear of passing away, no fear of dying, because I know that on the other side, the greater part of me waits, and every soul that I've ever been connected with throughout all time, forever and ever, is there to greet me, with open arms and welcome me with the most giant hug. So I find it very comforting. That's the word I'm going for. Very comforting to know that our animal companions have that on the other side. And go ahead and cry. The first when I had to read it at Nana's memorial, I couldn't help it. I practiced it 100 times. I practiced it in front of the mirror. And as soon as I got up and looked at people, when I looked at people and when I thought about the words that I was saying, couldn't help but bawl. I just cried and cried, and that's okay. It's perfectly, and we all cried together. Tears shared together in memory and honor of another soul are beautiful tears that go right to heaven. Beautiful tears that go right to heaven. Okay, so let's see. The spirit of our animal companion doesn't vanish because we don't no longer see them on the horizon. I love in fact, I don't see Mel on here tonight. Right, that it's not an end. Crying with hope, beautiful. The spirit of our animal companions does not vanish. It cannot vanish, just like a ship on the horizon cannot vanish. It just becomes greeted on the other side. It transitions to a different form within the field of energy and within love. It just takes on a different form, which I've also shared with you guys 100 times. That energy, it doesn't disappear like water and steam and ice and a river and snow and an ocean. Tears. Water can take so many different forms, and when we can come to recognize the beauty of it in all of its forms, that's when we get a better understanding that we are all connected that way. All right, so what I would like to do, since I don't have a reading tonight, I would love to lead you guys through a little guided meditation, and I'll tell you what I want to do. Hi, Tessa. 4 days ago, cannot process her actually being gone. Can it take time for her to send signs? All right, let's talk about that real quick. Tessa, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not. Tessia. Dog sent me 2 clear signs yesterday. Okay. The animal companions that I work with, as an animal chaplain, I do a couple different things. I work with families who are preparing for the end of life and are working actively to support their animal companion through that transition, and also with families whose animal companions have already crossed. And when I work with families who have planned to be with their animal companion at the time of transition, I tell them to watch immediately for a sign. The signs are immediate if you know to watch for them. You can, and it can be anything. Like Lucy, although she didn't send a sign, don't you do that? My son says, "Don't, Mom, no more air quotes." Even though she didn't send a sign per se, we felt her. She breathed in one beautiful breath, and when her breath left her body, this one big beautiful breath, it didn't just pass through, it passed into. There's no way for me to explain the feeling. That was an instant sign that she was not only still with me, she was in me. She had become part of me. But our animal companions immediately try to send us a sign. They immediately try to connect with us because they want us to know, as much as we want to be able to connect with them, they want us to know that that everything's okay, that they've made that transition out of the physical into the non-physical, and that we still have access to them all the time. But for the most part, our grief can get in the way. We are not prepared to look for a sign. We are overcome with grief, which is normal. That's not abnormal. Don't take that as you shouldn't cry at the crossing of your animal companion. I still cry over my animal companions. That's not what it means. It just means that the grief is a denser emotion, and they have left their body and entered such a space of pure positive love that it's hard for them to get through those denser energies of grief and guilt and fear and regret and remorse and those kinds of things. So sometimes it may take a couple days, not for them to send the sign, but for us to receive the sign. And then what you want to do when you look for signs, and I'm sorry if this is repetitive for some of you guys, but for some of you, I know that you want to you're going to get a sign every single day. Use your senses. You folks who are in my animal psychic class, we are learning about how to use our clairs, which is simply enhanced senses, our vision, our ears, our smell, our taste, our touch, our knowing, our emotions. We want to use them in the deepest possible way and access those things. So you want to look for the ways in which animals can use energy. Look for clouds. Clouds, believe it or not, are one of the easiest ways for animals because they're easily manipulated energy. And the interesting thing that I've discovered about clouds as I go through all of my photos of clouds is that not everybody sees what you see. So when you look into the clouds and you see a beautiful dove, not everybody might see that because it's meant for you. It's meant for your vision. It's meant for your sign. But you want to look for ways that they manipulate energy. They can use signs. They can use the clouds. They can use water. They can use wind. They can manipulate electricity, anything that's electronic. Those are the ways that our animals can get through to us. Or you may just see a bunch of coincidences. Like somebody posted a message earlier that they saw Lucas. I think, was it Lucas? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Lucas. The name Lucas came up like 12 times in one day. Yes, that's a sign. When I asked for Lucy to come to me in my dreams and I didn't get the dream, but the next day there's this shirt that says Lucy in big gold letters across the front. Those are the kinds of things you're going to look for. Things that you would normally write off as coincidence or wishful thinking. It's not. Those are the signs that your animal companion is going, please, how many times do I have to have my name said before you hear me? So those are the kinds of signs you want to look for. And if you haven't gotten it in the first couple of days, don't worry. Don't worry. Your animal companion does not ever give up on you. I don't care if it's been a day, an hour, a week, or 10 years. Your animal companion has not given up, and all you have to do is ask, and you can receive the sign. But signs are a whole topic for another day. Everybody, you guys are so great. You guys are so great and so supportive. And thank you so much for sharing your support with everybody. And we do know, right? All of us know, we say we know the pain, but everybody's pain is also unique. But know that we can help ease that pain, and we can transition the pain into something that is much better when we start to open our hearts and know that we're still connected with them. The physical pain of not having them may still be there, But oh my goodness, the relationship that we can still have with our animal companions, it's eternal. It's eternal. It's eternal. To hear them, to hear the sounds they make, to feel them jump onto your bed, to have them come into your dreams. It doesn't ever have to end. And then to just ask them for their help and support whenever you need it. Okay. All right, let's do this. I would like to do this guided visualization for you guys. And what I'm going to do is kind of take you to a place where you can feel the presence of your animal companion. And I'm going to even do it a little bit differently because this is where the woo-woo comes in. I know that the greater part of our own soul still resides on the other side. When we say that we are a spark of the divine, that we are a piece of the eternal, a piece of the universe, a piece of God that's been incarnated here on earth to experience this beautiful life, the greater part of our soul that we call the higher self still resides on the other side. And the other side does not do justice. It's still everywhere. This energetic field is not in some space out there. It's not up in the stars. It is right here. All of the air that surrounds us, all of this thing that we call space is full. It's full of energy and life, and we have access to it, and our higher self actually resides in that place. So when we think about souls on the other side greeting our animal companion, part of it is you. You are part of the welcoming committee on the other side of life. So while this little piece of you in a physical body wearing this little human suit is missing the little part of them that lived in their little fur baby suit, the greater part of you has just had your animal companion jump into your arms on the other side of life. So that's the kind of visualization I want to take you on. So if you're in a place where you can, if you're not, you can just listen. You can just listen along with what I'm about to say. But if you're in a place where you can sit comfortably and you can close your eyes and you can follow my visualization, please do. Some people say, but I'm no good at visualization. That's okay. Just follow my voice. Listen to the story. You don't have to visualize anything. Just follow my voice and feel this and feel the story. Listen to the story that I'm about to tell you. And it's all going to be based on this poem. All right, let me take a drink. Okay. I want you, if you're in a place too where you can, just to sit down, and if you're not already seated, just to relax into the chair where you're seated. Relax into the chair, or if you're lying on a bed or resting on your couch, wherever you happen to be, I just want you to really lean into your chair. Let your chair do all the work. You can just relax your body. There isn't anything that you need to hold tense. Let your tummy hang out. Just relax. Let your shoulders roll. There's no need to sit upright or anything. I just want you to be comfortable. Be comfortable and relaxed, and start to focus on your breath. When we breathe in, we are breathing that same beautiful energy that our animal companion now resides in. So breathe in, and with each breath, imagine that you are breathing in not just love and light and peace and calm. You are breathing in them. You are breathing in their spirit. You are breathing in their soul. And when you exhale, you breathe out to them all the love that you hold in your heart. Breathing in nice and deep, feeling them enter your being, releasing, sharing with them every ounce of love that you hold in your heart. And with each breath, you're creating a beautiful cycle of love. It's a cycle of breathing in their love, breathing back out that love to them, till all that flows through your body is peaceful, calm love. It's them. It's your animal companion. Oh, so now you're feeling nice and relaxed. You're feeling centered. You're feeling calm and peaceful. Feeling connected to everything. Relaxed into your chair. And I want you to just take a moment and think about what it felt like. And I know it's not always the happy memory that you want. But when I think about Winston, when I think about Jack, when I think about Lucy and Jake, and when they crossed, and I visualize their soul, I visualize their spirit, it has gently left their body, gently, softly, easily, even if what we witnessed did not appear to be easy. Their soul easily transitioned. And I want you to see them running across a field. They're running across a meadow. And as they run further away, free, Lucy free, Phoebe free, Tiggy free, free of all pain, free of everything. Their soul, their spirit is joyous, and it runs across this meadow. And as it goes across the meadow, the picture of them becomes smaller and smaller. It gets smaller, it recedes as it goes off into the distance, and it feels as if you may not be able to see them again, just this little white speck against the sky where the horizon meets the earth. And then that little spark, that little white cloud disappears. And now I want you to take in one deep breath, one beautiful deep breath, and I want you to feel who you really are. Know who you are. You are more than just the person that lives in this body. You are more than just a woman. You are more than just a man. You are more than just a child. You are more than a mother, a sister, a brother, a spouse. You are more than a daughter, a son. You are more than every label that we could ever place on a human being, because you are an eternal soul. And the greater part of your soul lives at the horizon. It lives there. It sees your beautiful animal companion. Now take that picture in your mind. You are on the other side of the meadow, on the other side of the horizon, and you see your animal companion coming towards you from that field, from that meadow, from the horizon. And instead of their visual getting smaller, they visually get bigger. They get closer and closer and closer until they run and jump at you, and you hug them or embrace them. You lean down to them, or they jump into your arms. Whatever it is, they are there with you, and you are there with them, and you have just welcomed them into the gates of heaven. Feel that joy, feel that peace. Know that they have never been alone. They will never be alone. You have never been alone. You will never be alone. You and your animal companion are together eternally, forever and ever and ever. And even as that scene begins to fade, I want you to hold that feeling in your heart, in your physical heart and in your spiritual heart. Hold the feeling that you have always been there for your animal companion, and they will always be there for you. Nice deep breath. You're going to bring your focus back to your human physical body. Breathe with me. Nice deep breath. Stretch with me if you want. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. Grab a tissue. Wipe the tears from your face. Mop your face. Blow your nose. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Okay, so tears streaming down my face. It still happens all the time. Tears of hope, tears of joy, tears of recognizing that you are so much more than this little human body. Okay. All right, we're back in the present moment, holding on to those feelings of love and peace. And we can acknowledge that there is pain in saying goodbye. We can acknowledge that there is pain in saying goodbye in the physical, but we can also acknowledge that there is so much more. There's so much more for our animal companions. They've transitioned, but we were there to greet them, and they will be there to greet us. The rest of us, when it comes our turn, they'll be there to greet us as well. All right, I'm going to check the comments real quick. Yeah, I'm crying. I'm not crying. You're crying. I was more than crying. Okay, recently I asked for my kitty for something specific and odd. Send me a seal or a sea lion. The next day, a cute picture popped up on my social media of a girl in a boat with a ghost seal. Okay, checks in with signs. So you guys, those are the signs. And the reason that we want those signs is not because we want signs. We do. I mean, we love, everybody wants a sign from their animal companion. I would love to feel them jump on my bed, but it's more than just the sign. We want evidence. We want proof. We want validation. We want them to show us that what we think is true is actually true. We want them, we're just such doubting Thomases that we really want the proof. Not only just the proof, we really want them by our side still. We really, really, really want them by our side. And that's why we look for those signs. And you can ask for something specific, by the way. You can ask for something very specific. You can ask for an answer to a question. There are no limitations. You're not going to be asking too many things. Oh, I hope I'm not bothering them. You're not going to be asking too often. Just go with it. The only thing is, I would suggest letting go of resistance. So what that doubts will sometimes get in the way of being able to see those signs. So you might ask for something easy at first. You might make a game of it, but you can ask for very specific things. And then keep your eyes open for receiving the sign. If you've asked for something specific, like a seal or a sea lion, the very next day, be looking for that evidence. And you'll get that. Or you can just say, I need a very clear sign, please. I need a very clear demonstration that you're sending me a sign. And they'll be happy to do it, because we are all connected and they are your soulmate. They're your soul animal companion, and they want to be able to show that to you. Okay. All right. I think that is it for now, my friends. One of my friends just made me a Gary nose print. Using paint to put on my window. Oh, how cute is that? I used to call that nose art because in the back of my car, that's all there was nose prints all over the back windows of the car from Jack and Lucy. All right, well, we're a little bit under an hour. So if anybody has any questions that they want to ask, now would be the time. Yeah, I know. I keep seeing the comment, I'm not crying, you're crying. Let the tears flow. That's what I say. The sweetest of gifts. All right, my friends, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. I will see you guys next week. And if there are any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, if you have anybody, I will go back and look for Tiggy. If there's anybody else who I've missed for a reading, let me know between now and the end of the year. I'll get those in, then we'll start again come January. All right, my friends, I love you so much. Have a beautiful night. Have a beautiful week. I'll see some of you later on this week. And in the meantime, may animals light your way. Take care.